Good morning. Good morning. I'm so glad to see your beautiful faces. I would like to invite you back in time. Picture it, Grand Rapids, Michigan, 1978. That's where I was. Oma and Opa Olthoff lived next door to me when I was a kid. They were well into their 80s when we moved in. They were engaged with the entire neighborhood, chatting from their yard, where they worked together frequently, or visiting various families. The kids in our neighborhood were a large, diverse slice of American pie. Each spring, Oma would send out an invitation to tea at her home to each house that had children. Formal dress was required. Punctuality was enforced. Waiting for that delivered invitation was anticipated greatly. From the upstairs bathroom window at my house, I could see the preparations that Oma and Opa made. The tables were arranged with real cloth covers. Seating was set up so that everyone felt included. Crepe paper streamers, banners, flowers from her garden, and real china plates. I would watch. Yes, I know it was a little creepy, but I would watch from the bathroom window until they started setting up the banquet table. At the appointed time, well-dressed children would begin trekking to the Olthoff house. We would gather on the porch together with the kid closest to the doorbell, ringing our anticipation. Excuse me. Oma and Opa answered the door with warmth and affection. Each child that wanted one was given a hug, led through the house to the backyard, where the splendor would be laid out before us. A variety of sandwiches, cookies, cakes, and beverages welcomed us with homemade deliciousness. We each sat in a chair, all on our best behavior. Oma and Opa would open the festivities by thanking us. They addressed each child by name and told them something nice that they'd seen them do. Then they would open up the banquet table, turn on fancy music, which was classical, so that was fancy. And it was a wonderful afternoon each time. Excuse me. As we'd leave, Oma would give each of us a little goodie bag, hug us if we wanted to, and return us to our own homes. That was a great invitation. Now, back in April of this year, I was invited to go to a leadership conference in Atlanta. And each morning, we joined our base camp, our little groups, lit a chalice, and discussed whichever topic was that we were given. It was engaging and uplifting for me, until someone cursed. Evangelize, you. I felt offended. Evangelize is for them, not you-yous. It got stuck in my craw. I could not shake the ickiness of that word linked to my faith. My belief in the law of love went straight out the window. And in my mind, I was livid. I quit listening. My focus went right to the word that irked my sensibilities. Evangelize, you. Being me, filter, mostly broken, I objected to its use. I expressed my feelings with controlled indignance. How dare they use that word? That word flashes less than savory images in my mind of a version of religion that hijacked the very concept of an all-loving God and transmogrified it into something hateful. The room was a bit silent. Although I thought I was being diplomatic, had I overstepped? Had I misread the trust in the room? The woman who had cursed eyeballed me calmly. Her hackles did not rise. Her voice was steady and warm, as if she were speaking to an ignorant child, which, admittedly, she was. That word means to spread the good news, she stated. I used to go to an evangelical church. When I found Unitarian Universalism, I felt like I had finally come home. Why wouldn't I want to share this faith with others? Why wouldn't I tell them the good news? Well, crap. I trod on that for the rest of the day. And at the evening wrap-up of base camp, I apologized for getting upset with her. I heard her reasoning, listened to her response, and appreciated her point of view. She brought me a fresh perspective on a word that, frankly, in my mind, had been usurped and bastardized by angry people. Evangelize, Unitarian, Universalism. Well, the actual definition of the word means to preach the gospel or to convert to Christianity. But synonyms of the word are more closely aligned with the invitation I'm extending to you. In which ways do you share the Unitarian Universalist principles with people you know or meet? I was told a story by Jen Stark about a trans woman looking for a church community where she would be accepted and even celebrated. Jen encouraged them to come here because she knows that the heart of our covenant is based on love. They began attending and became actively engaged. She repeatedly expressed gratitude to Jen for the community she found here at ORUUC. There have been many times where I have met someone who asked me which church I go to. We are in the South, that's a common question. Well, when I tell them, the most common response is, "What's that?" Insert my elevator speech version, it means one love for all, period. Proselytize is akin of evangelizing, only without an agenda. Accepting a truth that is real to you, adopting it into your beliefs, advocating for your faith by word and action. When I was looking to volunteer as a lay chaplain at a local medical center, I was accepted, considered, and then my faith was questioned. Are you a Christian? I was asked. Oh, why do you ask that? I responded. Well, we're primarily a Christian organization, and I don't know that you'll make a good fit. Well, I chawed on that for a while. But this is something I believed in. This was something I knew I could do. So I wrote a letter to this person. Dear human, the world is filled with strife and division. Of that, I think we can both agree. When we, as caregivers, chaplains, or leaders, meet with people, our goal isn't to convince them that we are right, but that we are seeking a meaningful connection with them, right then, right where they are, regardless of circumstances. Sometimes those people are different enough from us that they can be intimidating and even a bit unwieldy to deal with because their path isn't the same as ours. That doesn't make them any less human. It doesn't change their situation. It allows us to see them with grace and mercy in our hearts. It allows us an opportunity to connect and allow our hands to do the work of our hearts by example, not just words. When asked if I am a Christian, I can't answer that with fervor or self-righteousness. I am a student of love and its many forms. I do not believe that the face of God has only one. My faith is that the Spirit moves me to be exactly where I need to be when I need to be there. Because of the fluidity of my faith, I've been able to reach out to people that have fallen through the cracks. Because I live love, breathe God, and serve with a willing heart, this is my faith. So how do you share your faith with others? How do you invite others to hear about Unitarian Universalism? How do you demonstrate your principles in your life? Do you know of someone who is a seeker, like you, who hasn't found a place to call their home yet? Even if they decline now, you may be the first coat of paint they need. It's time to invite them in. It is time to evangelize how we live together, rooted in love. Thank you.